herzlich willkommen bei whisky.de, dem Treffpunkt feiner Geister. Und ich bin mal wieder in Schottland. Ihr seht die Flagge da oben wehen. Und zwar bin ich heute beim Duns Castle in der Nähe von Deanston. Und ja, ich fange einfach mal ein bisschen an mit ein bisschen Hintergrund hier. Schöne Gegend. Es zählt schon zu den Highlands, ist aber schon sehr im Süden der Highlands. Und dieses Castle hinter mir, ihr seht schon, da laufen eine ganze Menge Leute vorbei. Das ist ein sehr besonderes Castle aus dem 14. Jahrhundert. Denn es war Drehort für einmal Monty Python and the Holy Grail, also Ritter der Kokosnuss, glaube ich, hieß es auf Deutsch. Dann hatten wir Game of Thrones und Outlander, was hier gedreht wurde. Also hier wurde eine ganze Menge gedreht, also sehr bekannt und sehr viele Leute kommen rein. Ja, uns geht es aber heute nicht um dieses Castle, sondern bei uns geht es heute um Deanston. Ich kann eins noch ein bisschen vorbereiten, Deanston. Das Deanston entstand der Dean, also das war ein etwas niedrigerer Lord, ich weiß nicht, ob Graf oder irgendwie so in der Richtung. Der hat hier sein Haus gebaut und da hat sich dann ein kleines Town außenrum gebildet und das hieß dann Deans Town. Und ja, ist dann immer kürzer geworden. Irgendwann war es dann mal Deanston. Und jetzt gucken wir uns mal an, was da für eine Brennerei steht. Der River Teith, der hier hinter den Bäumen ist ein reißender Fluss mit sehr viel Wasser. Und den hat die Brennerei ungefähr 1,6 Kilometer, also eine Meile, weiter an einer höher gelegenen Stelle angezapft und einen Kanal gegraben. Also es ist schon sehr alt und das Wasser steht hier bedeutend höher als der Fluss. So kann man dann durch Rohrsysteme das Ganze ins Gebäude reinbringen und dort ist dann die große Wassermühle. Heutzutage ist es seit 2010 natürlich eine moderne Turbine und die produziert dann elektrischen Strom für die Brennerei und auch für die den National Grid, also das Stromnetz von Großbritannien. Sehr schön, denn die Brennerei produziert dann mit erneuerbaren Energien, also den Strom mit erneuerbaren Energien. Sie haben natürlich noch ein bisschen Gas für ihre Dampfproduktion, aber der Strom kommt von erneuerbaren Energien und hier wird auch noch eine ganze Menge für die umliegenden Ortschaften produziert. Das Schöne ist, es ist ein sehr weiches Wasser und auch ein sehr klares Wasser. Sie müssen es natürlich noch ein bisschen filtern und dann können Sie es sogar auch für die Mashtan verwenden und natürlich auch für Ihre Kühlung und Ihr Prozesswasser. Also Sie sind hier an einem echt perfekten Spot. Also es gibt schon einen Grund, warum hier ein so großes Industriegebäude aufgebaut wurde, denn Sie haben natürlich einfach viel Energie und Wasser. Die Geschichte von Deanston fängt 1785 an, aber nicht als Whiskybrennerei, sondern als Baumwollmühle. Und die Baumwollmühle war eine bedeutende große Baumwollmühle für die Zeit. Und das Gebäude war nicht nur Werksgebäude, sondern sie hatten auch Wohnungen und Läden hier drin. Und es hat sich so ein kleines Dorf außenrum gebildet. Das gab es aber öfters zu diesen Zeiten. Also große Firmen waren schon fast kleine Gemeinden. Die Baumwollmühle hatte natürlich den großen Vorteil, hier war der River Teith. Das ist ein reißender Fluss und da konnte man sehr schön Energie rausziehen. Und zu ihren Hochzeiten hatten sie sogar das größte Wasserrad Europas. Das ging aber nicht ewig gut und 1964 wurde die Brennerei von Mr. Hepburn, oder nicht die Brennerei, das Gebäude wurde gekauft und umgewidmet zu einer Brennerei, der dann die Brennerei Deanston aus dem Gebäude machte, so wie wir sie ungefähr heute kennen. Er hat dann 2 Jahre gebraucht, da wurde das erste Fass abgefüllt, hier 1966. Müsste dann eins der ersten Fässer gewesen sein. Hier hinten sieht man 30. Januar 1967, das war der erste, war die offizielle Eröffnung, aber sie haben vorher auch schon ein bisschen gebrannt. Ja, weiter geht's. Das Ganze dann 1972 wurden sie von Invergordon gekauft. Das ging aber auch nicht ewig gut. Es ging nur so 10 Jahre gut und dann wurde die Brennerei geschlossen. 1990 wurde sie glücklicherweise von Burn Stewart aufgekauft, die das Ganze wieder antreiben wollten und 1991 ist dann auch wieder neuer Spirit entstanden. weiter, fast forward, 2012 wurde die Brennerei dann mit einem Besucherzentrum eröffnet und auch auf die Karte gesetzt für Whisky-Touristen. Und es war auch 2012 oder 2013, ich glaube, sie war noch nicht ganz offen, ich glaube eher 2012, war auch ich hier und habe ein Brennereivideo gemacht, mein erstes Brennereivideo. Nicht so schön, nicht so professionell wie heute, aber trotzdem mein erstes Brennereivideo. 2013 ist die Brennerei dann gekauft worden von Südafrikanern. Man kennt sie, die Deanston Group. Und die haben jetzt sich sogar in diesem Jahr umfirmiert ein wenig und haben ihre Produktranges geändert. Und jetzt gehört Deanston mit Tobermory und Bunnahabhain zu einer Subgruppe, wo sie relativ unabhängig, aber zusammen noch kooperieren können, dass sie Whiskywissen austauschen können, aber nicht von irgendwelchen Konzernvorgaben so stark beeinflusst werden. Ja, das war's mit der Geschichte. Sind wir schon im aktuellen Jahr und jetzt schauen wir mal rein, wie es produziert wird. Die Lagerhäuser von Deanston sind einer der ältesten Teile der Brennerei. Und es ist sehr interessant, also Sie wissen nicht genau, wann sie gebaut worden sind, aber sie sind ungefähr 1700 in den 80ern, 90ern gebaut worden. Und bei diesen Lagerhäusern hier handelt es sich um Baumwollläger. Und Baumwollläger müssen stark getrocknet werden. Also die Baumwolle, die hier drin ist, die zieht gern Wasser und die muss getrocknet werden. Man will sie möglichst trocken haben. Das heißt, die Baumwollläger wurden so gebaut, dass sie sehr, sehr dicke Wände und sehr, sehr dicke Decken hatten. Und es war sogar oben drüber auch noch Erde drüber und ein Gemüsegarten für die Arbeiter, dass die da auch noch ein bisschen was angebaut haben zum Essen. Und hier wurde dann das ganze, die ganze Baumwolle getrocknet und über verschiedene Kamine ging dann der ganze Dampf mit der ganzen Feuchtigkeit ging raus, sodass sie eine gute Ware hatten. Schön ist das Ganze natürlich, wenn man keine Heizung mehr hat, ist dieser Raum hier extrem gut isoliert. Es ist jetzt kein traditionelles Dunnage Warehouse, ist aber sehr, 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 sehr ähnlich zu Dunnage Warehouses. Denn es hat sehr, sehr wenig Unterschiede zwischen Sommer und Winter. Hier ist die Temperatur extrem konstant in diesen Räumen. Und das Schöne ist, wir haben 3 Dunnage Warehouses, dann noch ein bisschen neuere Racked Warehouses und insgesamt 24.000 Fässer kann die Brennerei lagern. Die Brennerei lagert aber nicht alle Fässer in ihren Warehouses, sondern sie tauscht sie mit den Schwesterbrennereien aus, mit Bunnahabhain und Tobermory, und sie haben auch noch ein bisschen Lagerung weiter außen auf dem Festland. Das ist aber interessant, denn hier findet man auch noch andere Fässer von anderen Brennereien. Hier oben ist Tobermory, dann noch die rauchige Marke von Tobermory, liegt, und hier unten die großen sind von Bunnahabhain. Die Brennerei lagert zu großen Teilen in Bourbonfässern und Bourbon Hogsheads, aber sie haben auch eine ganze Menge Sherryfässer und andere Fässer, um ein bisschen Fassvariation in ihre Marke reinzubringen. Ja, das war's mit der Brennerei und jetzt probieren wir mal, wie unser Deanston Spirit so schmeckt. So, das war's mit der Produktion und weiter geht's mit einem kleinen englischen Tasting. So this was it with the production, and we're having a little bit of a tasting. I'm sitting here with Murray Kerr, and you're the distillery manager here.
Yep.
But you've been working in the industry for 8 years. Before that, you studied brewing and distilling. Quite a steep rise to distillery manager of Deanston.
Yeah, it's been an exciting ride for sure, but I've enjoyed every minute of it. I can't be happy where I am now.
Yeah. But you've been working temporarily at the Tobermory distillery?
Yes, spent about just under a year at Tobermory, yeah.
Okay, I've been to many islands. They are very romantic and very remote. How is it to live on an island for a year?
It's it's one of the most beautiful parts of Scotland, so it's amazing in that sense. It has its own challenges, mostly in terms of transport and things, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, I would love to spend a year on an island. That sounds cool, but I'm not quite sure if I would be like an islander for life.
No, they tried to turn me, but I'm always going to be a mainlander, that's for sure.
Okay, so but we're obviously here for Deanston. So what are we having today?
So we're going to go through some of the whiskies we have, a couple of our core range and a couple of our special releases. But the first one we'll go with is our 12-year-old. So this is just this one on your left here.
What is it matured in?
So this is a mix of refill and bourbon barrel. So you get the sort of the sweetness off of it straight away, the sort of honey, bit of almost heather as well. But with the 12-year-old, there's quite a lot of the distillery character still there. So you have the maltiness, but I start to get that sort of fruity aroma. I pick up apples.
It's really fruity.
Yeah, I get quite an appley nose off of it.
And I love the sweet honey note to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
And then what you're going to see next is when we taste it is where you're going to see some of the real magic of Deanston. This is where you start to get some of this waxy character that we love to scream and shout about.
Oh yeah, flashy. I would have described it as oily, but now that you said waxy, I can just feel the waxy.
Yeah, it's a fine line. What we find, why we call it waxy rather than oily, is it's not an oily flavour, but adds to the flavours there. So it's a lot of the mouthfeel, but I say it's almost like when you bite into an apple, it's the apple peel when you first go through it. You're getting that sort of the oils from the skin and everything else.
Yeah, from the texture, it's oily, but from probably waxy as well. But from the flavor, you do have a bit of a waxy taste to it. Yes, but also a bit of a red apple, I would say, and honey. Honey,
and then start to get some of the cloves and things like that. A wee slight spice.
Slight spice, yes, definitely. But I would say it's one of these beautiful, easy, mild, fruity Highlanders.
Yeah,
I think that is like the typical Highlander style, I would say, minus all of that sherry that we got.
Yeah.
I do like it. So you said core range and special releases. So what are we expecting from Deanston? How is the core range going? What are you thinking?
So we've had a couple of adjustments in the last couple of years with core range. Like the 18-year-old never used to sort of really be one of our core range. We brought it on, and it's doing amazing things. So we have made some adjustments. There's no current plans to any sort of serious change at the moment, but as we evolve and change, we might find they'll be finding another brilliant thing. Some of the experimental stuff we're doing at the moment might become something that are part of the core range. The whole thing we're trying to do is explore new sort of opportunities. So what might be sitting as the core range now might be different in 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah. So how flexible are you with the core range? I mean, you've been. Are you still having anything with the Burn Stewart? I think you were running since '91 continuously.
So we still have some of the older stuff kicking out. Very much the traditional sort of bourbons, refills, sherries that are roundabouts. So very much the standards. We'll definitely be using as much as possible. Refill or first fill bourbons seem to be doing really well with Deanston as well. We'll be going touching on some of the stuff we're doing with the Virgin Oak as well. But as we're exploring new interesting casks as well, they could be coming in. So we're trying to be quite active in terms of not setting our ways and exploring things rather than challenging the news sort of thing.
Okay, you're doing a bit of experience, but you're not going overboard.
Try not to go overboard. You need to have your sort of your normal setup that's perfect, and then from there you can branch out and build from it.
Well, I think that a bit of a foreshadowing. The last one is a bit of a bit dancing out of tune.
Yeah.
I've not seen. I'm not quite sure if I've tried anything about that yet.
Well, hopefully you'll enjoy it because we love it.
Yeah. Well, stay tuned. So that will be interesting. So, what is the next one? So
the next one we have here is another part of our core range. It's our virgin oak. So this is obviously never been in anything before. There's no character sort of coming from a previous spirit. So it's purely the sort of wood and our distillery character that you get from this.
So can you compare virgin oak? Like, is it like the same step from like a refill to a bourbon? Is that the same step from the first fill to a virgin oak, or?
So we use as a virgin oak, and then after that it'd become like a first fill Scotch, which would be you wouldn't really hear it, but then it would be something similar to that.
But it has the same, like, is it the same influence as a bourbon, or is that different because of the corn?
I think there's similarities, but there's definitely differences. The bourbon previously definitely adds a lot of character to it, while the bourbon would take more of the wood flavor, whilst what you'll taste in the bourbon is like really.
So this is more woody, less sweet corn? Or?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's find out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Because what you find straight away is it's a lot more woody, spicy on the nose.
Oh yeah, it has, but it's American oak.
Yeah.
If that would have been a European oak, I would have been amazed. Now I would have not trusted my nose anymore.
They still get that sort of that spice even from it because it's such fresh wood.
But I would have expected it more spicy. I think it's pretty, what do you call it? Pretty mild for a virgin oak. Usually a virgin oak I associate with like these intensity of a bourbon.
True, yeah. No, it's part of the job that our master blender has, is trying to select obviously the perfect ones, and this is what we're aiming for, and we're able to continue it.
So, cheers.
Slanza.
Ooh, I've had that before, but I can't remember that much. Spicier than expected.
Yeah, black pepper and things like that coming through.
Yeah.
The spiciness subdues, I think, towards the end, and you start to get that sort of what you picked up in the 12-year-old, the distillery character, but originally like, the wood spice and everything else, it really sort of hits you with it. But
a lot different, yeah. The bourbon is really leaving its mark in the woods. This is. I really would have thought that is like, okay, bourbon is taking some out, you're taking some out, but this is different. Yeah. You have a lot more intensity of the wood, less of that bourbon flavor in there. Yeah. The honey sort of is a lot. There's not the honey that you get from the sort of 12-year-old. It's strange. I think it's not very common in Scotland, right? No. Because of. This is not a 10-year-old, right? No. This would be a bit too hefty for a 10-year-old. Yeah. But in terms of flavor, it's I would say on par or even higher than the 10-year-old. 12-year-old. Yes, yeah, but even on par with a 12-year-old. I like it. Yeah. It's a good stuff for amazing for a non-age statement whiskey. Yeah, I think that's what you got to really prioritize with non-age statements. Is you got to really prioritize the sort of flavor and the flavor compounds you're looking for. The beauty of that is with like virgin oak, it can be really reactive wood. So I think you almost have to have that non-age statement, because different years, different seasons, you're going to get far quicker reacting spirits. So if you don't, if you stayed in an age, then you're going to struggle. One year you could be completely out of spec, whilst now we're able to really sort of blend it and make it into a perfect. You definitely blend that in with total respect to flavor. Yeah, definitely. So on another topic, I've seen your sites here, and you have that water turbine.
Yes.
So a lot of environmentalism. Is there any plans to go like full carbon neutral or anything?
So 100%. That's the plan for us to eventually go full carbon neutral. There's obviously a lot of big steps to take there. Obviously, with the electrical turbine available to us, our big focus at the moment is to try and push it, like using as much of this renewable energy source that we have. There's numbers of different ways in terms of e-boilers and different things to try and get our steam source to be completely carbon neutral as well, because that's normally the hardest part for a distillery.
Yeah, but you're trying to go electric there, or you're trying to go with I think other distilleries tried with what's it called, with the draft?
Yeah, they sort of like draft burners and wood pellet and stuff like that, but we seem to have a great opportunity here, so that's what we're really trying to explore at the moment. We don't have all the answers yet, but, so it might not be completely how we go, but definitely it's the idea we have in the back of our minds at the moment.
Yeah, it's you don't expect how much energy you need to fire up that still.
Yeah,
really.
it takes a lot of energy to heat up that sort of amount of liquid, so it's a very energy heavy industry, so the focus is to try and obviously reduce that.
Yeah, water is a bit of a strange energy. You get electric energy out of it, but you get any heat out of it.
No, sadly not. No, heat's the one thing we always want. That's the one great way to try and save energy. But we'll do what we can with the high turbine.
But I think the water wheel is always cool.
Yeah,
I think you said the water wheel, also the after the water wheel you take it as a cooling part. Yeah.
Yeah. So the water that feeds the turbine is also the water we'll use for our cooling system for our stills as well. So our water source for our distillery is literally a stone's throw from the still house. It's not even a joke. You could throw into the river if you wanted to.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's great to be able to see actually our source just flowing by each day.
Yeah, that's a great source. Okay, so we had the virgin oak, and now we have that same thing as a
cask strength. Yes.
Nice.
So the virgin oak is already bottled at quite high ABV. So this is at 55, and it's only a wee bit higher at 58%. So
wait, that was 55?
Yeah.
That didn't feel like 55.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
No, it was really round for that. With the non-age statement 55, I would have expected a lot more alcoholic note.
Yeah.
Didn't have that.
No. But what we have here is the cask strength, which is 58%. So it's only a couple of percentages above, but it just shows you the complexity of like the different whiskies and how ABV is such a big factor in it.
So this is a special bottling now?
Yes, so these are our special releases, yes.
So the cask strength, does that vary, or do you mix a lot of casks to get the same strength? Yeah,
so that's basically, like obviously it's not just like we pick one cask and that's going to be the ABV. We'll pick a loaded cask, we'll vat it, and then that will become our cask strength. So we'll have a specific amount of volume that we'll want to make in bottles. We'll put that into one vat, and then that will tell us what our cask strength is.
So the different bottlings have different ABVs from year to year?
They would possibly, yeah. They likely would, yeah. This is our first one of doing this. In the future, we likely will have a sort of variance in it, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that is always the trouble with cask strength for traders like us. We always have to have a new product.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people love that. People love the sequency of that.
Yeah. So obviously very similar to the last one, but I think with the slightly higher percentage, obviously you're getting a lot more of the aromas and smells coming. Maybe a little bit more alcohol there, but it's a really robust smell coming from it.
Yeah, it's still, I would say, a lot of oak, sweetness, vanilla. I like it. Slushy.
Cheers. This one you can definitely taste the alcohol, I think.
It's a bit attacking.
Yeah.
But I like it. It has that kick to it, but somehow it also feels a lot sweeter.
Yeah, I think a lot more of the sweet fruitiness appears in this one.
Our fruitiness takes a bit, but here it comes. I like it. I like it. But I'm still amazed at how that is 55. So we talked about the renewables.
Yes.
So how was the weather lately?
It's been great for water turbines. There's been a lot of rain as of recent, the last couple of weeks. So being right by the riverside, you see it quite clearly. Getting to work can be a bit of a struggle in the mornings, but we've not had any major problems or anything like that, which is the main thing. But
yeah, well, I was a bit afraid that my tour is not going to happen.
No, as long as you make it, we'll make sure it happens. I guess the old famous quote is today's rain is tomorrow's whiskey, so got to go by that, isn't it?
A lot of whiskey by that measurement.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they had floodings down on the west side. And I think floodings in your area as well. But
yep, there's been some floodings around here.
But the Teith, is that like a graceful river, or is that like a harsh river?
It can be. It can be quite harsh. It's one of the, I think it's the third fastest flowing river in Scotland. So at least the water moves away quite quickly, but what you can find, you get big surges from upstream. So if the water's moving so quickly, rain further west can suddenly be with us quite quickly. But we've obviously been here since '66 and we've survived so far. So,
but it doesn't come in here, right?
No, we've luckily never had that bad. That's so touch wood. Touch wood, that's not going to happen.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I've seen other distilleries where they had like floating casks and they're like, oh.
Yeah, that's a different way of aging it. Yeah.
So nice. And now we come to that is really. Is that legal after the what is it? Who does the rules with the cask?
The SWA, the Scottish Whisky Association. Yeah. So I believe it was about 3 or 4 years ago they approved all this. So it's very new and kind of exciting, and we're obviously really excited to show it to people. So
what is inside that?
So this is a 15-year-old. It's our standard 12, standard sort of Deanston. It's been sort of refills / ex-bourbons, and then it's had 2 years finishing a tequila cask, 100% agave tequila cask.
100% agave tequila cask. And that is the non-smoky Mexican stuff?
Yes, rather than mezcal, yeah. So this is non-smoky, but it's one of the higher standards of tequila you'd get, so it's not just any tequila.
Okay, was it difficult to get the cask?
You would have to ask the master blender. I believe it was Julianne Fernandez' big idea. So you
called Julianne Fernandez?
Julianne Fernandez, yeah.
A woman?
Woman, yeah.
Julianne Fernandez. And with that name, I think she has some connections.
Yeah, you'd say that, and then you'd hear her accent. She's very much from Glasgow area.
Okay. Okay.
Very different on the nose, isn't it?
It was a long time, and I had a decent tequila. But it's really strange. So you do have that your distillery character. You can feel that you have that fruity character. You have a bit of that virgin oak, that vanilla and caramel and all that kind of stuff.
It changes slightly to more like a more citrusy note. I always get almost lime, but
yeah, it's strange. It's lime, but I think it has a bit of a,
which I think is the agave,
earthy note to it as well. I don't know.
So I don't know. I've been told that the lime I'm getting is very much what the agave is sort of giving us in terms of nose. Okay. So that's the agave.
Somehow it feels, for me, it feels a little bit of an aromatic, a little bit of a phenolic smoky note, just a smidge of it. But it's totally giving a strange vibe to it. But I think the SWA was right. It feels like a whiskey.
Yes, that's what their whole objective is the fact that the whiskey should never be unrecognizable. You should know it's a whiskey. Yeah. It should complement the actual spirit itself without taking away.
Yeah, and not turning it into something else.
100%, yeah.
Like the herring cask.
Anyway, cheers. How
much ABV is that?
I'll need to double check. I can't remember exactly.
But it feels really smooth.
Yeah, I think the really interesting thing, the comparison from all the three prior, it's a lot drier on the palate straight away, but it doesn't mean it's short finish at all. The flavors are still there. There's like that citrusy sort of note that I get and that coming through.
It's strange. You do feel that fruitiness from your character, but a lot less of the sweetness.
Yeah.
And as you said, a bit of a drier character, a little bit of a lime character, but for me, not that much. I feel a little bit of a earthy, spicy note to it, but not as like forward spicy as any of these harsh whiskeys. I like that kind of stuff if you do the experiments, but these special releases, are they with volumes?
Yeah, they all have majority of them have a number of specific bottles they have. Each one will vary depending what it is, but then again.
But it's not like 2 casks or 3 casks or something.
No, it's a decent volume. We're into like a good few thousand bottles anyway.
So you're gonna bring them out like yearly and stuff.
Hopefully, the big thing we're always striving for is if we find something brilliant, then obviously we're going to stick with it. We're obviously never going to put out anything we don't think is brilliant, but obviously what we believe is amazing, the market has to also agree. So.
I think that product is the cask finish is always nice because now that you think, okay, this is good, and I think the market reacts to that as well. You only have the production time of 3 years, and not like 12 years.
Yeah, 100%.
Should have thought about that 10 years ago. Okay, so yeah, I love it.
So happy to hear that.
Thank you very much for showing us around, giving us all the information.
Not at all. I'm happy to have you guys here. It's been brilliant to show you guys.
Yeah, it was lovely. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. It was a nice time here at the Deanston distillery. If you are interested in these bottles, go to whisky.de or whisky.com. You will find most of the bottles, maybe some of the special casks will be different in the future if you watch this in the future. And yeah, have a look at whisky.com, whisky.de, you will find the bottles there. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.